They were able to, go on the road, beat up on Tennessee. Did you have any initial thoughts that you wanted to share about the Packers?
Initial thoughts weren't really about the Packers. It was more about how embarrassed would you be if you are the Tennessee Titans franchise? A guy you casted off, a guy you didn't give a chance to, comes in and kind of beats your ass.
I mean, he didn't kind of. He did.
Well, I mean, his numbers weren't, 34 of 38.
Best numbers of his career, though.
Best numbers of his career. Just goes to show you, and hopefully this reaffirms the fact that when I say there's bad coaches and there's bad organizations in the NFL, this is a perfect example because this guy has talent, but you don't know how to extract that talent out of him because you suck.
What percent of coaches do you think are bad in the league? Like, I mean, just in general, is it 40% of coaches are bad, 30%?
No, I don't think it's that high. But there's a good number
because
of them. I would say on our staff, and even during the Super Bowl era, there were 3 coaches that had no influence whatsoever. They were just really considered babysitters.
But that's on a good staff. You know what I'm saying?
That's on a good staff.
Like you guys were really good.
Yes.
But like this Titans staff, or even if we want to hit it closer to home, like the Chicago Bears staff is very stinky.
Yes, and we said that all along about the Bears.
Yeah.
Listen, Bears fans should listen to us. Now, there's going to be a little bit of hate, but we're going to shoot you straight when we say, you guys do the same thing every single year. We're great. We're great. We love this quarterback. Oh, you suck.
Well, and because the crazy part is, and I know, Josh, you clapped back at Big Cat last week. I don't know if you continued to do so. I don't know if you tweeted out the picture of, God, it's going to be tough to top. Chew, I don't know if you've seen it. I'll show it to you. But there is a picture of the Bears going for it on 4th down. It's fourth and goal from inside, right around the 1 yard line. And they're running this option play.
Yeah.
They have 4 offensive linemen on the ground and just every defensive lineman from the Colts running at their running back. It is really bad. So I don't know if you shared that picture with Big Cat, Joshy, if you decided to rub it in his face anymore this week and, get the Barstool boys all fired up at you again.
I didn't. I was just laughing at all of them saying how we suck again.
Because
it was 3 weeks ago that they were saying that's an 11-win, 12-win team.
Well, because the crazy part is, Josh, like the thought process of, that's the best, in terms of talent. And I still stand by this. Talent-wise, that team's got a lot of talent. And in terms of a number 1 pick landing there, like I don't know if you could ask for anything better. Because you compare this year's number 1 pick and the talent he had to last year's number 1 pick in Bryce Young, and the best thing he had was an old, washed-up Adam Thielen, right? In terms of talent around you.
Sure.
It just tells you how bad the coaching staff is that they can't figure anything out over there.
Yeah, but that's on all 3 because, you even look at the Packers and their offensive line isn't uber talented. They're talented.
They've got a couple guys you really like.
They get the most out of their players, right?
Well, but that's been... the offensive line coaches...
Back to when I...
Well, that's what I was about to say. The offensive line coaches realistically have been just as impressive as any other type of run during this 30 years.
If you look at our offensive line in the Super Bowl years, they were good. They weren't great. They were good, but he got the most out of them. And he knows what they can't do, and he knows what they can do.
Arguably, your best offensive lineman retired right before the season.
Yeah.
And Ken Rutgers.
We didn't have one Pro Bowler on that offensive line.
No.
Through their entire career, we didn't have one Pro Bowler. As the number 1 offense in football.
Frankie made one.
Not under my rules, though.
Wait, you're telling me that Frank, it didn't count? He was an alternate?
Yeah.
No, come on.
Yeah. He was the first alternate.
Because I remember there is a picture of the 3 of you that I remember. Like it was either before or after the game. You guys are all in the when they used to do like the Hawaiian type of jerseys.
Yeah.
Like I remember that.
Yeah, no.
So he's.
So wait, you guys were in Hawaii and you were telling them? Yeah,
no, I didn't go that year because Keith made it and I was the first alternate.
Right. Oh,
I was the first alternate.
Yeah, because Frank is listed as a Pro Bowler here on his Wikipedia page from 1996, and typically they don't list. Let's see what his Pro Football Reference page says. It says Pro Bowl. Usually they don't list the alternates on the Pro Football Reference. Are you sure he was an alternate?
Yeah, I'm pretty sure he was. Well, yeah, you know why I know he was? because we were both first alternates, and I was pissed off that he went and I didn't. That's how I know.
So you would have counted his had you been invited, is what you're saying.
Do you think I would have counted it if I did make it as a first alternate?
Yeah, I think so.
I know
Absolutely.
I think
Because 4 sounds better than 3.
I was about to say 4-time Pro Bowler.
All right, back to the game, though.
Yeah.
I thought it was great. Game plan was great. They didn't ask Malik to do too much. He made some really, really nice plays. He made some good throws. Defensively, they looked pretty damn good. Turnovers. I mean, look, what are their turnovers on the year? 8?
So they
8 or
have
9?
So they have 7 interceptions and I believe now 2 fumble recoveries. They recovered one from the first game, and then again, Will Levis having just funny pictures of Lucas Van Ness diving over the top of them to grab a fumble. So
he has,
so 9.
Back to the whole Malik thing. Will Levis has no business being a starting quarterback, and right now they're destroying that guy, and it seems to me they don't even care.
Oh yeah,
because I actually thought they were going to bench him at halftime and put Rudolph in.
Oh, okay.
I actually thought they were going to do that, and I was surprised they didn't. Which leads me to believe, is it coming from up above the head coach?
It's very possible. Anytime you draft a quarterback, that has to come into play. And you've shared the story of, if anybody doesn't think that happens, I mean, that it didn't happen at the quarterback position with you guys, but it happened with a top 5 pick.
Yeah.
That the coaching staff didn't want to play.
Yeah.
But Ron said, "Hey, you're starting T-Buck."
Yeah. So that does happen. It's just, you know what? Bottom line, who cares what's happening in Tennessee? They're a dumpster fire. They're moving forward, but this league is very, very bizarre. Very bizarre. Right? San Francisco losing 2 in a row. Dallas losing 2 in a row. Minnesota's 3-0. Not only 3-0, they take down a top 10 team 34-7. I mean, what the hell? The Bengals are 0-3, who look terrible.
Yeah, I think the Bengals have shoes.
Yeah, they got a Joe Burrow issue.
Yeah.
Well, I think it stems a Mike Brown issue. I don't think.
Yeah. Everything
He's
goes
cheap because you get into a locker room and you don't pay one guy, because players are always going to back one another. You don't pay one guy and it's, hey, the owner's cheap and I don't want to play and this and that. So that's a little bit of a dumpster fire. But, I mean, if you look at elite teams, can you call a team elite now, 3 games in?
So let me run this by you, because this was something I was kind of workshopping a little bit yesterday. So typically in the preseason, like, you guys would play, I mean, maybe you would play like a series into the 4th game, just to do it. But realistically, I mean, you would play, a quarter in the first one, maybe a little bit into the second quarter in the third one. Third game was the dress rehearsal. You'd come out after halftime.
Yeah.
So I think after 3 weeks, like, that's kind of the new preseason.
Yeah.
Like, teams, we should be able to start judging teams, I think, maybe starting next week.
Next week.
Yeah.
But it would have been nice to play the Colts first, Tennessee second, and then Philly.
Yes. I would agree.
That would have been
I would
ideal.
agree.
But you have to ding the Packers a little bit, because you lost to a good team and you beat 2 craptastic teams. Right? With a backup quarterback, so there's something to be said for that. I don't know if I'm putting them with Buffalo. I mean, who else is there?
That's
the biggest. Whoa. I mean, I figured we were going to get to this in power rankings, because I'm assuming Buffalo is going to be up there. But you're in on my guy. You're in on AO.
They're playing well.
He's the runaway MVP right now, and I don't think it's close.
All right, let me ask you this, because I haven't looked at power rankings at all, and obviously we're going to get to it.
Yeah.
But do you put Minnesota in front of Green Bay? You have to. You have to. They beat in San Francisco, and they beat in Houston.
Beating Houston, I will say this. I don't know if they are or are not. But I think Minnesota, in the way they beat Houston to this point through 3 weeks, is the most impressive win by anybody all year.
They might be the most impressive team to date this entire year. Did the Saints win or lose?
They lost.
They lost
Okay.
to Philly.
So you'd have to say...
I don't know if they're the most impressive team.
No,
they're the most surprising team, without a doubt. They're the most surprising team, because
No, they're the
hands
most
up.
impressive team.
Hands
they're
up.
the most impressive
I left
team.
them for dead with Sam Darnold playing quarterback.
Now, is it sustainable? No. I don't think.
I have a hard time believing.
I don't think it's sustainable. I mean,
Well,
I think at the end of the day, they finish.
Like, the Vikings have done this before with craptastic quarterbacks.
I know.
Remember the Case Keenum year?
Yeah.
Yeah,
They went to an NFC Championship game with Case Keenum. Or just missed out on the NFC Championship game with Case Keenum. I can't remember which.
But a quarterback playing with a lot of confidence is a pretty good thing to have.
Well, but again, it just goes you to show, back to your point of head coaching matters. Like if we're talking about Josh Allen being the runaway MVP through 3 weeks, I mean Kevin O'Connell, as much as good as Matt LaFleur has been the last 2 weeks, devising the game plan for Malik Willis, the runaway coach of the year is Kevin O'Connell.
Through 3 weeks.
Through 3 weeks.
Yes. Yes. Hands down.
Because again,
hold on. I mean, Matt LaFleur probably deserves one vote.
Sure.
For what he did with a backup quarterback that
100%.
was here for 18 games.
Yeah.
Because his game, he's a very good game planner, and we'll talk about it later. He's just got to learn to be better at the microphone. I mean, he really does.
Okay. I understand your point.
Yes.
Counterpoint. Does he?
Yeah, he does.
But it's kind of better for us. If he's
in radio?
Yeah,
Yes.
that's what I'm
Wonderful.
saying. That's what
also,
I'm saying.
that's rich coming from this particular program. Being better at microphones.
We're not very good at turning him on. Not very good at turning him off.
That's fair.
Saying the things we're supposed to say into him. Saying the things we're not supposed to say into him.
That's fair.
Little glass houses. But if anybody knows what to and not to say, it's us.
You know what? Hey, one of those takes one to know one
Are you saying 'cause
situations.
we're missing someone today that doesn't have a filter?
Well, I don't know if you should be pointing fingers over there particularly.
Yeah, but it's expected from me. Right?
We're grading on the Chewy curve again.
I mean, we do
No, it's expected.
for you to mess up.
No, for me to say things I'm not supposed to say.
Yeah, that's yeah.
Yeah. I'm like the 4-year-old kid that repeats things that he has no idea what he's doing. He's just repeating what parents said and
I think
has a
that's
little bit of a potty mouth.
I think that's a convenient story you like to keep
Well, I'm
us.
sticking to it, all right?
Again, we've created this monster. We have no one to blame but ourselves, Joshy. Just remember that.
Yeah, I know.
800-990-3776. A couple of things to clean up here from the text line before we get to Jason Wilde. Craig saying the Titans also let LaFleur go too. No, they did not. He left Tennessee to take the head coaching job for the Green Bay Packers. So he left Tennessee, certainly has history there, but he was not let go. And then who did I correct? Because Joel is saying, Gabe, don't correct everything that is said. Other opinions are fine. Not everyone is wrong. You could be humble too. Who did I correct?
Today?
Yeah.
I don't remember.
All right. All right. I apologize for correcting whoever I corrected for whatever that was.
I didn't clock it.
Okay. All right. All right. I apologize. Jason Wilde. Don't have to apologize for him. He's coming up next. Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Southbound on 41, we have an accident right at Main Street, Menominee Falls. Yep, that is going to be backing up all the way back past Mequon Road. 2 left lanes are blocked with this accident, so watch out for that. We've got another accident on 94 eastbound, just about at the ramp from Brewers Boulevard. The left shoulder is blocked with that one, and then off the freeway, but close to it, we've got another problem. Fond du Lac Avenue southbound, right at I-43. The right lane is blocked with a broken down vehicle. And check the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today. Scattered showers, highest chances near the lake, a high of 67. Tonight, decreasing clouds, a low of 55. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga, 94.5 ESPN.
This is the story of the one. As a warehouse manager, her job is to transform chaos into clarity and to see patterns where others see problems. Luckily, she's got a partner who shares her perspective. Grainger offers over 1 million industrial-grade products, backed by real person support and in-depth online resources, so she can tackle every task with precision and turn potential setbacks into streamlined success. Call clickgrainger.com or just stop by. Grainger, for the ones who get it done.
Get more of the NFL with NFL Plus Premium and start streaming more touchdowns, more hurdles, more action.
Breaks a tackle, he's gone!
NFL Plus Premium has your game day covered with NFL Red Zone, game replays, live local and primetime games on mobile, and more. The action doesn't stop there. Also, stream NFL Network 24/7, including 7 exclusive live games this season. Sign up today at plus.nfl.com. Subscription required for NFL Plus Premium. Terms and conditions apply.
$5,000. That's the average amount of money people in the U.S. are now spending on gas in a year. $5,000. That's crazy. If you drive, you have to download Upside, the free app that gives you cash back every time you get gas. That's right. You can earn real cash back with Upside just by buying the gas you're already buying. You can literally start earning cash back today.
I use Upside every time I fill up, and I've already made around $300.
You're putting gas in your car anyway. Why not get real cash back? If you like free money, download Upside.
I'm saving the cash I earn from using Upside to help pay for a vacation later this year.
Download the free Upside app now to earn cash back every time you buy gas. Use promo code BUY to get an extra 25 cents per gallon on your first tank. You can cash out anytime right to your bank, PayPal, or a gift card for Amazon and other brands. Just download the free Upside app and use promo code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus on your first tank. That's code BUY for a 25 cents per gallon bonus.
Associated Bank knows your small business isn't just a venture. It's your dream and a vital part of the community. And we're not just a bank. We're your neighbors. We're looking out for you. That's why Associated Bank offers quick online applications and approvals with funding in as fast as 1 business day, checking with no minimum balances or maintenance fees, and prompt customer service. Explore our products at associatedbank.com/business or visit a branch for more details. Subject to credit approval. Member FDIC, Equal Housing Lender.
Ready, down, put. All Packers, all the time.
He was a field tilting player, and the reason why Gabe and many others are so concerned is that this guy's on the field, he changes the offensive dynamic. They are a different offense when he is there.
Okay, most of the time.
You know, Homer calls Matt LaFleur soft all the time. Matt LaFleur is like Vince Lombardi compared to me.
It's Jason Wilde on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
He is our friend. He is our teammate. He is Jason Wilde. Joins us 3 times a week here on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. Good morning, Jason.
Good morning, dudes.
What up, guy?
How you doing?
Doing great.
Great, brother. Glad to hear it.
Are we going to go through the entire charade? And I know the charade. Oh, hey, what's up, Stella?
That was Stella. They went along with Paula and the girls to take the girls to school, so I'm only walking one dog to bark during my segment.
Well, I feel Stella's the only one who ever usually talks on the radio. I don't know if we've heard.
Star.
I like that name.
Stella?
Is that a human name?
Oh yeah, we're a human name family. We have one.
But I mean, Jason, are people calling their daughter Stella? I would consider it.
Yes, there are definitely. I think there's a Stella in Sydney's class.
Oh, really?
Yeah,
it's a good name.
Thanks.
I digress.
So is Mark.
Yeah, oh, great. Hi, Mark.
Hey, by the way.
Hi, Mark. Where's your dad? So boring.
You know what's another good first name?
What?
Tucker.
Tucker's a solid name.
Which is, again, increasingly more and more like Mark, but that's another discussion for another day.
Well, no, somebody had just actually called in and wanted Chewy's take on Tucker Kraft and the way that he's been playing, especially his blocking. And I just feel that with each passing week, Jason, you have to feel better and better about your, this guy reminds me of Chewy take that you had.
Yeah, I do. And I was ridiculed by my sidekick, who I love dearly. I'm also with 3 interceptions in 3 games, even though I did not compare them as players, the gravitational pull that Xavier McKinney has on his teammates on defense, when I made the comparison that he's got some Charles Woodson to him that way, I stand by that as well. I have made a few comparisons to old school guys lately, and I feel pretty good about most of them at this point. But the Tucker Kraft one, I mean, that's over. Like, that's a first-round knockout.
Like, should he change his number to 89?
No.
Yes, absolutely. Ben Sims, congratulations, you're now 85.
But
I think he should.
But they were asking me here, my 2 buddies here in the studio, the difference between Musgrave and what happened there in Kraft. I think, Jason, this is a perfect example of a player that struggles to process things in a player who gets it, right?
Well, but yes and no. I mean, first of all, like I don't know what Luke Musgrave will become, right? But he's a fantastic athlete. Maybe it just takes a little longer. He played a lot last year, but maybe there are aspects of his game that he's still obviously a ways away on. The Tucker Kraft thing, I think he deserves a ton of credit. He's obviously really bright, but I was talking to Jason Eck, the head coach at Idaho and one of Tausch's best friends, who was the South Dakota State offensive coordinator when Tucker was there. And I didn't realize this. I think it came up on draft day and I just forgot about it. But he played 9-man football in like some tiny podunk South Dakota area. And when he got to South Dakota State, he had no idea what he was doing. Like there was 2 more guys on the field, everything moved a lot faster. And what Jason's point was that once he figured things out, he just took off like a rocket. And I think that's what we're seeing with him in the NFL too, right? Once he figured it out about 2/3 of the way through last season, he just took off. And I brought that up to him at his locker on Friday because I was going to write about him this week. And he acknowledged that. Like, he didn't know what he was doing early on last year. There was a reason he wasn't playing. But then everything has clicked in. And my biggest concern is that, and he's a throwback too. Like not only is it a compliment to him to compare him to you, it's a compliment to you to compare him to you. Because, I mean, look, I don't know, and this isn't to disparage any other players in today's game, but I don't know how often guys truly play through injuries anymore. And for him to have had a shoulder injury going into the game, because remember, he was wearing a red non-contact quarterback jersey throughout the week in practice, for him to injure it or re-injure it enough that he has to come out of the game and is listed as questionable to return on an official injury report, and then for him to return says a lot about his toughness, too.
Well, the funny part about that, Jason, watching the game, like they went down to the sideline to give, and he's questionable to return. And like the very next snap he was out there, like, well, I guess he's not questionable. He's back in the game.
Yeah, but again, I don't like when you get a designation like that in game, I don't want to say it's no joke. It's not that serious, but it is significant. It is meaningful.
Yeah.
And most guys don't come back.
I would agree.
They usually end up then being downgraded to out, unless their injury is so serious that they're out right away, which that's always the worst sign during a game.
So, Jason, let's stay with injuries. I saw LaFleur's clip on Friday when he was asked about Jordan Love. What the hell's going on here?
Yeah, so I feel like for the last 2 weeks I've been that meme of Brian Windhorst doing the 2 fingers.
Why would they do this?
Exactly. So I think there's been enough breadcrumbs now to tell you. And again, this kind of goes back to what I was saying. Like, Tausch did one of the worst jobs ever of hiding the fact that he talked to Favre. And when he was quoting a former NFL quarterback saying you don't know what you can play through until you do it, it was not.
That's what my dad Irv used to say.
Exactly. God, I didn't realize you talked to Craig Knoll. That's really interesting. What are the chances he and Ty Detmer caught up? But I do think that there is, because they keep they keep being tells, right? Like and I've gone through this, but for those that don't listen every day, so Thursday we ask Stenovich, how will you know that Jordan is ready? And he says, well, Jordan will tell us. Okay, so that's like breadcrumb number 1 if we're Hansel and Gretel. Then on Friday, as Chewy just mentioned, he's asked if he's medically cleared. LaFleur is asked that. He nods and says, we're working through that. The follow-up question is, does the nod mean he's cleared? And LaFleur says we're working through that. And then I'm the one who follows that and asks how much of Jordan playing is up to Jordan, and him saying a lot of it is up to Jordan. Okay? Mm-hmm. Then we have, after the game, LaFleur is asked, I think by Rob Domofsky in Nashville, when did you know it was going to be Malik? And he says, I'm not going to get into the details of that, which was his only short answer of the entire press conference, right? I mean, he went through that whole rigmarole of, you guys can't fathom what he's doing, and you think you know, but you really don't know. So he was very expansive in a lot of his answers except that. Then yesterday, to cap it off, we took a different approach as a group, and we did other questions first, thinking maybe we can get them warmed up a little bit, and it seemed to work to some degree. Now he still had a, smirky. I don't know how much he's going to do, but I'm sure he'll be limited. Answer to Bill Huber. But as we went through that, I asked him flat out if he took team reps last week, and he said yes. Okay, so now we know that he took team reps, which we didn't know by the end of the week. And then the coup de grace was Rob Domofsky asking, was the workout before the game to prove whether or not he could play, or was he not playing and it was just to get him some conditioning work and a workout on game day? And LaFleur said it had already been decided that he wasn't playing when he went out for that workout. And now that is not uncommon, but the whole ruse was, well, we're going to give him up to 90 minutes before kickoff. That led us to believe that workout was going to be to see whether or not he could go or not. And it turns out the decision had already been made. So when you add all those pieces up, and then on top of everything, I can't remember what I asked, but his answer was that he has a legitimate injury. Okay? So when you feel the need to proclaim that, you at least know that there are people, whether they're inside or outside of your building, wondering why he's not playing it. Because why else would you make the statement of he has – anybody who saw what happened in Brazil knows he has a legitimate injury. Yeah, I don't need you to tell me that. Are you reminding others that he has a legitimate injury that he's not playing with? Like, look, I used this example yesterday, and I'll stop rambling in a second. But somebody mentioned this while we were doing our show in the YouTube comments, and I went back and looked it up. RG3 had like a PCL injury, second year as a starter maybe. He misses one game, he plays through it, and then he suffers like a major knee injury. Mm-hmm. And remember, that dude was never the same after that. Like, correct. It was done for him. He was on TV shortly thereafter, right? So if I am protecting Jordan's interest, if he's my brother, if he's my son, if he's my client, whatever it is, if I'm in his circle, I'm like, look, dude, if you don't feel comfortable going out there, don't go out there. The stakes are too high. So I don't know enough about it, and I haven't talked to Jordan about it, but I do think that there's a feeling that, I mean, otherwise, why does LaFleur say that? He needs to both, he's trying to be honest, he's also trying to protect the player, and it almost feels like he's kind of caught in the middle, and he doesn't really know what narrative he wants to get out there.
And he's probably, my guess is, a little pissed.
Yes.
Because the agent's calling the shots here and not the medical team. That's how I see it.
I think I think all those things are components of it. But again,
Hansel picked up on all the breadcrumbs over there. Attaboy.
He's very good. Hansel Chimera. But I would also
like Hansel better than Mark.
Yes,
it's not as good as Tucker though. The other part of this that I'm curious about is if maybe LaFleur's thought process has changed since before the Colts game, when he's probably sitting, oh my God, can this guy, is Malik Willis going to be able to do this? We're going to be 0-3 by the time this guy considers playing again. And now they've won back-to-back games with Malik Willis. Maybe he's softened his position. But I agree. I think that was another emotion that was in the mix.
This game was first, like the Monday after, our guy Shefty was on Pat McAfee's show saying, hey, maybe this Minnesota game is a game that they could target. So this date has been out there. Are you expecting Jordan Love to play this week?
I think it's a greater likelihood. I still, I would like to talk to Jordan on Wednesday to get a better idea from if there's a difference in his tone, in the things he says, in his demeanor. But yeah, look, this is a really big game. And, my point earlier that I just think we live in a different era now where obviously Favre played through everything. I mean, my God, the guy was taken out of the game for a concussion, ran back onto the field, and then threw a touchdown against the Giants before they realized he had run back on the field, and then they brought him back out, right? Like, he had that ankle thing when it was
in
like
95.
it looked like it needed to be amputated, and he didn't miss a start. Like, yeah, and look, in fairness to Rodgers, he's no Favre because no one is, but I mean, Rodgers played the entire 18 season with an MCL tear, which was more severe, and a cracked tibial plateau in his knee. He played with a dislocated throwing shoulder in 2008. So these guys have set a standard, and I said this to you guys on the Green Bay game day pregame. Like, some of the dads that were hanging out before Sid's game that day, like they were all, Favre would play, Rodgers would play. And I just don't think that that's a fair standard to hold love to. Those guys were different. And 68 different starters 2 years ago at quarterback throughout the league, 66 different starters last year. Like, this stuff happens, and the Packers were just lucky that, A, it didn't happen last year, and B, by some miraculous act of God, they have won 2 games, and Malik Willis has delivered for them.
Jason, always appreciate the time, buddy. We'll talk to you again on Thursday.
It is always a treat, boys. Take care. Be good.
Jason Wilde. Again, catch him coming up in about 90 minutes on Wilde and Tausch. Do want to tell you about our friends over at Mentality, because it doesn't matter what age you are, low testosterone can be an issue for any guy. And it certainly was for me. I just didn't realize it at the time. Tired, groggy, just didn't feel like myself. Didn't have that energy really to get through my day. You're getting tired as the day goes on. And I just thought, okay, we're getting a little bit older, waking up, doing the morning show instead of doing an afternoon show. That's just the way it is. But it doesn't have to be that way. Mentality can help you get your testosterone levels where they should be and help you compete at work and sports like you did years ago. Have that energy, not just to get through your day, but to attack your day. There's no better, safe, and insured medical solution available. Go to lowtusa.com. Find out more about Mentality, because they allow treatment to fit into every guy's lifestyle. Learn more about Mentality and their low testosterone treatments at lowtusa.com.
Never miss out on a second of the show. Find Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. Sponsored by Celsius Essential Energy Drink.
Well, we got a couple of accidents to deal with still. The big one, 41 southbound, right about at Main Street. The 2 left lanes are blocked right now with this, and the delays are stretching all the way back to Frystad, so give yourself tons of extra time. We've also got a crash on Highway 175 southbound right at Wisconsin Avenue, left lane blocked there. Disabled vehicle on Fond du Lac Avenue southbound right at I-43. The right lane is blocked with that. And now we got a new crash, 4394 northbound, just past Howard Avenue, off on the right shoulder. All these areas obviously are going to find some pretty hefty delays. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, scattered showers, highest chances near the lake, a high of 67. Tonight, decreasing clouds, a low of 55. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga, 94.5 ESPN.
Change your grocery game plan to locally owned Century Foods, home of the best meat, freshest produce, and tastiest treats. Now through Wednesday, save on 46 to 48-ounce selected varieties Blue Bunny frozen dairy dessert, $3.99. 45-ounce tub Imperial margarine, $3.99. 12-count Ice Mountain spring water, 2 for $7. 21.5 to 28-ounce selected varieties Bush's best baked beans, 2 for $5.
I am starving.
Oh, no. Never walk into a Century when you're hungry.
Unless it's free sample day. Ooh, oh, pizza, yes. I'd love to try that one.
My husband thinks he can make a meal out of grocery store samples.
Need to wash this down. I think I see someone handing out samples in the liquor department.
Geez, can we focus on our list?
What's this?
It says you can win 2 tickets to Green Bay's home game against San Francisco November 24th.
Or autographed footballs, or a 4-pack of Green Bay Hall of Fame tickets.
You have to enter through Century's Facebook or Instagram.
I'll be entering this on my phone in the deli next to that cheese sample station.
I'm shopping at Century alone next time.
Enter by November 6th.
Progressive knows finding your new home was a dream come true. You wanted it close to town, with a picture window overlooking a yard. And you found it. Now, when you sit down to dinner, you've got front row seats too. Your neighbor's daily pickleball game. Progressive can't save you from your noisy neighbors, but we can save you money when you bundle your home and auto with us. Get a quote at Progressive.com. Progressive Casualty Insurance Company, affiliates, and other insurers not available in all states.
Mom, meet Sarah.
From first-time Nana moments.
Yeah, welcome to Flight 101.
To annual girls trip moments. Your can't-miss moments are worth protecting against RSV. If you're 75 or older or 60 plus with a chronic condition like asthma, COPD, heart disease, or severe diabetes, you're at higher risk of landing in the hospital from RSV. And there are no prescription RSV treatments. Check eligibility and schedule your RSV vaccine at vaxassist.com.
So where should we go next?
Sponsored by Pfizer.
Whoa, it's you, the Capital One Bank guy.
That's what they call me.
Mind if I get a selfie?
Yeah, sure thing. Say no fees or minimums on your Capital One checking account.
Wow, that's a keeper. So, where are you heading?
I'm off to spread the good news that Capital One helps people keep more money in their wallet with no overdraft fees.
Oh, you're the best Capital One Bank guy.
Hey, mind if I get a selfie?
Sure.
Say, Capital One, what's in your wallet?
Terms apply. See CapitalOne.com/bank for details. Capital One NA, member FDIC.
Well, here we are again, and I got to tell you, Jim, this match has me really concerned.
Here we have a powerful heavyweight, a train, weighing in at 6,000 tons. And this hasty lightweight challenger, a car, at just 1.5 tons.
This does not bode well for the car, or the people in it.
It's no contest. Every day, people are injured or killed trying to beat a train at rail crossings. See tracks, think train.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Hey, everyone who I let try borscht likes it. They don't love it, but it's a liver.
What an endorsement.
This is your
but hold on.
There's your airline, guys. Good luck. I don't even have to talk anymore.
On 94.5 ESPN.
$800-990-3776 is the talk and text line. Brett wants to know if there's going to be a Josh versus Gabe showdown again today.
Talk to me. What happened?
Depends upon. Well, I was voicing some concerns yesterday, and Josh just decided he had enough.
Oh. Can I hear?
That Wisconsin On Demand, yes.
Yeah, there's a it's a 6
It's like a 6-minute thing.
Yeah, back and forth.
Well, I don't even know if Jen spoke the entire
was
time.
Was Gabe being negative Nelly?
He was being negative Nelly.
On a Monday?
I was being
after a
told.
Win?
It was the two combating things on this show.
Well,
the being a fan and being
Well, we were talking about Jordan Love.
I'll defend both of you.
So we were defending Jordan Love. It was about this time in the show. We were kind of late, and Jen had brought up Jordan Love. So I brought up a couple of concerns I had about Jordan Love, and Josh was, I don't know.
I'll defend both of you. I took Gabe a little too far in de-toading.
I agree.
In Josh, you're a toad that thinks they can still go 17-0 with one loss. Okay?
I don't know if I'll go that far.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I think that's
fair.
very fair. I think that's, that if there's one thing about Chewy, he's a fair guy.
Yes.
There wasn't a result I wasn't looking for, and that turned some people against Gabe.
Oh, yeah.
I want to clear the air on that. I'm not anti-Gabe. Gabe is one of the best friends I have. So there were some people I muted who were mean.
So what were you saying about Love? He's in the wrong?
Well, no, so we can get to that because there is a text here, and I definitely want to get to that because I think the breadcrumbs that Jason laid out in the timeline is very interesting. But I just said I was concerned because Minnesota's looked good, in terms of beating Houston. And I think that if the Packers are going to beat Minnesota, that they need a healthy Jordan Love. They need him to be playing well. And if the NFL preseason is now the first 3 games, and he played week 1, wasn't great, wasn't terrible, but he wasn't the Jordan Love that he was the last 8 games of the regular season last year against, and now he's been out the last couple of weeks. Like, he needs to be sharp. If he's playing, they need him to be sharp because that's how good Minnesota's playing right now. So those were my concerns. Like, he hasn't gotten sharp because he hasn't practiced really the last 2 weeks. Now, we did find out again yesterday that he did take some team reps last week, which is a good thing. Mm-hmm. So that's going to help as he continues to prepare Again, I'm working under the assumption that he's playing.
Same.
They weren't expecting to win both games. Would you agree with me there?
Yes.
So the fact that they did, they could give him one more week if it's not there, because 2-2 is fine based upon what's going on in the NFL right now.
Considering how I felt Saturday morning, 2-2 is amazing. Week 4.
Yes.
Well, but that's what you're kind of like. That's what you were hoping for after the injury. Like, okay, and especially after Monday, the Monday after the injury. And you had Shefty going, well, it's 3-6, but maybe that Minnesota game, you go, ooh, okay, he's only going to miss 2 games. All right, they lose those 2. He comes back, he beats Minnesota. We're 2-2, and then we cruise.
Uh-huh.
So it would be a little different way of getting to 2-2 if he doesn't play and they lose the game. But I'm fine with 2-2. I'm fine coming out of the month of September at 2-2 because you're not out of anything.
No, and the division games are important, but I don't think this game in Week 4 is going to determine whether the Packers are in the playoffs or out of the playoffs.
No.
I think there's a lot of
it would
left.
if Minnesota continues to play like this, it would probably
division. It could matter for
it could matter for the division. It's going to put a lot more pressure on the second time they play Minnesota if Minnesota keeps this up. But the so Ben puts out there, learned a lot about Jordan Love's character through this. In fact, if his agents are calling the shots, just like his holdout, this is a way to protect his future earnings as if he doesn't have enough money. The last 2 games have proven Love may be replaceable at a hell of a lot of less money. All right, Ben, I'm going to tell you a couple things here. One, not replaceable. Like that. Yes, it's great that the Packers have been able to win these 2 games, and it's a masterclass by Matt LaFleur. But I think I can reach across the aisle with Joshy and say they're not beating really good teams with Malik Willis. Yes, you can beat the teams that they've played.
Yes.
Who have a combined now 1 win between them.
Yeah,
but you're not beating. If you want to go where you want to go with Jordan Love, that's if we're talking about deep playoff run. You're not doing that with Malik.
Yeah, my whole thing and the reason the Packers got an incredible performance from their head coach and the backup quarterback that's been there for like 30 days. We should celebrate that and be excited, but thank you for your service. Go back to the bench. That's what we needed.
Go develop over there.
And the defense.
Sure.
The defense, those turnovers do help.
Correct, yeah.
But bringing them back at home, I'm going to say he plays. If he's taking team reps last week, my guess is he's going to
What
play.
are your thoughts of, okay, if his agents are the ones calling the shots, if LaFleur is frustrated, again, trying to pick up these breadcrumbs and make them make sense over the last couple of weeks, is that just...
Well, the agent is the end-all, be-all, and he shouldn't be. The agent shouldn't be driving the bus here, ultimately should be the player, because the agent doesn't know how he feels. Only Jordan knows. And plus the agent has a vested interest, Mm-hmm. I mean, if you're 95%, you're going to be wearing a brace. I know the RG thing, 3 thing is out there. But, I think he's going to be fine. Now, he's going to be rusty.
Yeah.
Because this would be his second preseason game, and he was rusty against Philly. Still played pretty well, but there were some throws that were
Yeah, and look, I know Jason threw the RG3 thing out there, and while everything in there was true, and if you're an agent, you want to protect your clients.
Sure.
And, you want to, or whoever it is in his circle, who wants to protect Jordan's future. Part of the reason why RG3 wasn't the same again is because, well, he was more of a runner than a passer.
Yes.
He won a Rookie of the Year because of how athletic he was and what he could do running the football. And the sitting in the pocket passing part of his game hadn't developed to the point where he could just strictly rely on that, which is why he then kind of fell out of the league so quickly when the athleticism was gone because of the knee injury.
Remember when they had to bring in the Nationals manager to try and teach him to slide and he still never figured it out?
What, baseball slide?
Yes.
I completely forgot about that.
Yes. There was video of it.
And that thought, and I actually thought about that because Burrow had a slide last night. Like, what the hell was that?
Well, Tua should probably go to that school
that's
as well.
A lot of these guys just don't know how. I've completely forgot that they brought in the Nationals
my
manager
guess
to teach
is
RG3 to
he
slide.
plays. My guess is he plays. If he's taking team reps, he's ready to roll.
That's what it seems like to me, and I think he plays as well. 800-990-3776 if you want to join in on the conversation. But you can relive the greatest postseason run in Bucs history. The Bucs in 6 podcast. Bucs in 6 presents a special series that commemorates the Bucs title run from back in 2021. The thrilling 7-game series against the Nets. The 50-piece from Giannis in Game 6 of the finals. Immerse yourself in the sounds of each playoff round. Bucs in 6 on the Bucs Plus audio network. Find it now, bucs.com/plus, the Bucs app, or on Spotify, Apple, and wherever you get your podcasts.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
But first, if you're dreaming of a new home before summer ends, Great Midwest Bank has the perfect mortgage loan for you. Let's make your dream a reality. Their loan officers work to provide a personalized and secure banking experience for all of their customers. Their loan officers feel like friendly neighbors because they really are. They always take the time to understand your situation and find the right type of loan for your needs. Head over to your neighborhood Great Midwest Bank. They've been simply local since 1935.
$1 million. That's big, really big. This September, Potawatomi Casino Hotel Milwaukee is handing out a cool million, and you've got a shot at winning your share. The big $1 million giveaway is here. Just play with your rewards card and you're entered to win. Couldn't be easier and couldn't be bigger. No wonder it's called the Big One. For more details, visit paysbig.com/big one. Must be 21 and a rewards member to play.
Are you looking for a reliable ride? I've got you covered. It's ESPN Milwaukee's Jen Latta. I use AccuTrans Group for my private transportation needs during the college football season. AccuTrans is a veteran-owned business dedicated to providing unmatched corporate, personal, and event-related transportation that you will use again and again. From corporate travel and weddings to group events, AccuTrans Group caters to every occasion. Booking is easy, safe, and dependable. Visit AccuTransGroup.com to get a quote or to book a reservation today for reliable and safe transportation.
Lock in for October. Brewers postseason tickets are on sale now. Clear your schedule, claim your spot, and be here for a Brewers postseason run you don't want to miss at brewers.com/postseason.
Shop Macy's VIP sales starting Thursday. Use your coupon or Macy's card and take an extra 30% off the latest fall trends from designers that rarely go on sale. And save 15% off skincare, makeup, fragrances, and more. Plus, shop fall specials for even more great deals on top brands at Macy's. Savings off regular and already reduced prices. Exclusions apply.
Thanks for calling Discover. This is Diego.
Hi, Diego. It's Jennifer Coolidge. I just want to say your cashback match makes me feel so special. It really inspired me.
That's great. Doubling the cashback you've earned at the end of your first year is what we do.
Well, I'm doubling everything now. Double dating, double dipping, double feature, double header, double whammy. Basically double or nothing.
You earn, we match. Discover Cashback Match. See terms at discover.com/creditcard.
Who's looking for a deal? Well, Cousin Subs has a better deal just for you. Cousin's new $10 meal deals are now available online only. Choose between a 7.5-inch ham and provolone, turkey breast, or veggie sub, a bag of chips or regular fry, a regular fountain beverage, and cookie at cousinsubs.com or on the mobile app for just $10. Now that's a better deal. Cousin Subs, we believe in better. Available at participating locations only. Offer subject to change without notice.
Hello, I'm Dan Fields. At Fields, we have a great selection of Range Rovers, Defenders, and Discoveries. Every model in stock, priced right, and ready for delivery. Stop by or visit online.
Plus, you'll become a member of the Fields Amenities Program with complimentary loaners, car washes, and gourmet coffee service, all at no charge. Integrity and customer satisfaction will always be the force that drives our business. To put it simply, Fields matters because you matter. At Land Rover Waukesha. Go to LandRoverWaukesha.com.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
So overrated.
Come on, his head is a pumpkin.
Yeah, he's so right. Chewy's never been more right about anything.
Chewy was right. Yeah. Holy, Chewy was right.
Yeah.
Imagine the helmet on that dome. It'd be the first 8.5 size helmet. What the?
On 94.5 ESPN.
I was about to say, one of the best ideas Chewy has ever had, or it could be one of the worst, is if this show was ever on Sirius XM.
Oh, that would have gotten laughs, Joshy. That was good. No, we were talking about what you do right-handed and left-handed.
Yeah.
And we're talking about sliding.
Yeah, because we were talking about RG3. Yeah.
Where you do it is like you slide left.
Yeah, so I slide, because you asked me, well, do you slide left or right-handed, which I didn't understand what you meant. So my left, the way I slid when I played baseball, my left leg was out, and I tucked my right leg.
Do you do anything right-handed?
Yeah,
Because you're left-handed.
Yeah, I right-handed, I throw right-handed. If I kick a ball.
How do you bat?
Left. Golf left.
The only thing I do
left.
left-handed is shoot a hockey puck.
I do literally nothing left-handed.
I think that's it.
Yeah.
Wow. Huh.
But yeah, that was...
Good to know. And I'm sure half of the audience is going, I know exactly where they were going.
Yeah. If you're a longtime listener of Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, you can then imagine the jokes that were made about the
During
things
the
that
break.
you may or may not do left-handed that we're not going to bring up on the air. This game is interesting because Aaron Jones, after the Vikings win on Sunday, had some... It wasn't that shocking of a thing to say in my mind, but I know that there are some Packer fans that took exception to this. So, Chewy, I want you to hear this from former Packers running back Aaron Jones.
You told me the other day, you've been saying don't sleep on Sam Darnold. What is he doing on a weekly basis to make you guys believe?
He's contagious. He's so for him.
He got you a touchdown today. I watched you watching your highlights up on the board. You were cheesing it on the sideline. You were even doing the skull chant before the game after years of coming in here as a visitor. How much fun are you having as a Viking?
I'm having a blast. This is probably some of the most fun I've had in my career. Just a great group of guys in that locker room, great group of coaches. They make it fun to come in here and play. These great fans out here. They affected the game many times. I know you've seen it. I want to say it was close to 130 decibels in here, which is crazy. I've never seen that. So I think it's a hand in hand. Everybody has a piece of it.
What is so wrong about that?
He's having some of the most fun he's ever had in his career.
What's he supposed to say?
Well, so that's the thing.
I miss Green Bay. I wish I was still there. 3-0 here. Isn't this like, come on.
Well, and also...
Lighten up, Francis.
It wasn't his choice to leave.
Yes.
Well, I guess it was. I guess technically, if you want to paint it like that, but he was offered a pay cut, and he didn't accept the pay cut.
Also, they're 3-0.
Yeah, they're 3-0, exactly.
and just beat...
Yeah.
Nothing bad has
and
happened
no one
in
ever
Minnesota
in a
yet.
million years thought they would be 3-0.
No.
Yes.
They beat the doors off of Houston.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. No.
Now, so you think
that?
after
I didn't
that...
find one thing he said offensive.
Yeah. And look, when he retires, he's not going to look back fondly right now on his time in Green Bay.
Of course not.
Maybe after he's done. But right now, no.
Yeah.
And I know you've talked about going through this, Chew, when you were trying to make the comeback.
Yeah.
Like, the Packers didn't want you.
Sure.
So guess what? Bleep you. Like, that's just the way it works.
You ever been fired from a job? You ever been fired from a job? Do you still like the company that fired you?
Well, and
now it's a little different.
But and I would say it's different because it feels more personal if you're an athlete when you get released.
Yeah.
Because, I mean, Josh, I don't know what you went to school for the little bit you went to school for. I doubt it was radio, right?
No, wasn't.
Right? Like you've had a number of different careers before, and now you love it. It's fantastic.
Mm-hmm.
Chewy was working since, age 8 or 9 to be in the NFL?
Right. Yeah. Yeah.
So then when that comes to an
stings
end,
and-
it's like it's just it's really, really different. Not that, getting fired from a job is not tough, because it is. But when you've been working all that time and then a team that you've been with for almost a decade says, we're good.
Well, and you're not just doing 8-hour shifts.
I mean, you're
traveling.
Yeah.
You're spending
Time
days
goes
days.
on. You get over it and over it. You think Mike McCarthy loves Green Bay? I can guarantee you he doesn't.
He
the
might
way it
after
went
he gets
down,
fired in Dallas.
I'm sure there are still deep scars.
Well, sure, but he still decided to live there.
No, I know. Well,
and I think his family still
wife-
lives there,
yeah,
right?
yeah, his wife is
I'm not
from
sure
there.
if his wife,
No,
if
once
they
he's
finally
done
moved to Dallas or
coaching,
not. Sure.
10 years after, he'll look back and you know what? That Super Bowl we got in Green Bay was completely awesome.
he's
but
gonna
right
get-
now, when you're in it,
Yeah. He's
and
gonna,
the way it went down,
the way it went down, yeah.
yeah,
But, I mean, he's going to go into the Packers Hall of Fame, and it's going to be great.
yeah, sure. Just takes time. And Aaron Jones will get there. Let him play his 2 years or 3 years in Minnesota. Let him have fun, and then he'll come back. Right? I mean, Aaron Rodgers is eventually coming back here. Sorry, Joshy. But he's eventually coming back here.
They're going to retire his number. He's going to go into the Hall of Fame. All the things they did for Brett going to be the same stuff.
I won't be there celebrating it, but it totally makes sense to bring Aaron Rodgers back.
Why are you so scarred?
Why wouldn't you celebrate Aaron?
I celebrated him while he was here, and then I hated him. Now he's gone. He's out of my life. I'm moving on.
Yeah, but you're telling me I mean, I don't know how long he's going to play in New York, but whenever he comes back for his Hall of Fame induction, whenever he comes back for his number going up on the facade, like, you're not going to celebrate that?
Nah.
What about Craig when he comes back here and manages at the very end of his career? Counsel.
He's not welcome.
Yeah.
It doesn't matter. Who cares?
Someone needs to be a new owner if that's going to take place. I don't think Mark's
even the way the season played out, you're still grinded by it?
I mean, with Craig Counsell, that one's probably even further back just because.
Well, he's not. I mean,
he got dominated.
Is he going to be celebrated? Sure, but also, like, Aaron won a Super Bowl. Aaron won MVPs. Like, Craig, the best he did was get to Game 7 of the NLCS. It's not quite the same.
No.
And I understand that in the terms of Brewers history, that's really good.
Like, let me ask you this. Are people still mad at Holmgren today for leaving or no?
I have a friend who I still can't believe, yes, he's
Really?
upset with Holmgren. Calls him a walrus.
Well, he is a walrus. Don't tell my son that, please.
I don't have it in me to be. I mean,
Yeah, calls him Benedict Walrus. Walrus is what he does.
Brett Favre was like the ultimate litmus test for that. Now things have changed precipitously in his personal life and things after, but people forgave Brett pretty fast.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
The second he retired, I forgave him.
Yeah. Yep. Correct.
I mean, well, the third time. Like, the third time.
Yeah.
Like, not,
When he actually retired.
When he actually retired, I'm like, well, but with Brett, it would have been wildly different if he went to a Super Bowl and won one with Minnesota.
You think? Like, what? Hold on. Let me ask you this question.
Yes.
When Rodgers goes into the Packer Hall of Fame,
yes,
will there be overflow into the stadium?
No.
Will there be any overflow into the stadium?
No.
That is crazy to think
because
about.
I think the only reason you open up the stadium is because you're going to have 60 to 80,000 people like Brett did.
Yeah,
Like,
which is insane.
Well, I honestly don't know if they'll ever have a player ever again that could do something like that. Like, Brett's connection, especially when you guys were playing,
I get some
with the fan base.
I get
like, his
some-
connection
Hold
with the
on,
fan
I get
base
some
is
credit,
unreal.
Though. I get some credit because I was instrumental in keeping him a knucklehead.
Okay, so let me.
Am I right?
I want to follow. I want to follow the bouncing ball here. Just let me make sure
Okay.
I understand what you're saying.
Okay.
I want to put this together. So you are saying that Brett was relatable because he was a knucklehead.
Josh,
I think that plays in.
Okay.
So because he was a knucklehead and you kept him a knucklehead, that kept him relatable. Therefore, you deserve credit.
Correct.
How much credit are you looking to take?
10%.
I'll give you 10%.
I get 10?
I'll give you 10%.
Okay. Can we pull that?
How do I ask that question?
How much?
We deserve credit for keeping Brett a knucklehead and loved by the state. 10%, 20%, 90%.
I fear that poll. I thought we were going to descend in amount.
2090. He wants a little or he wants it all.
Yeah.
I'm afraid any poll about Brett Favre
All
right
right,
now
okay.
isn't going to end well just out of spite.
Okay.
We've just so you're aware, Marie texted in. She's definitely still mad at Holmgren.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just letting you know, people
Still hold a grudge.
still hold a grudge, and I'm sure there's a certain sect of the Packers population that still is mad at Brett.
Oh yeah, sure.
But overwhelmingly, again, do you think the Packers will ever have another player that fills the stadium on a non-game day for their retirement?
No, I don't believe.
Like that. So the fact that they wouldn't open up the stadium for Aaron isn't a knock on Aaron.
Yeah.
It's just more of an. I still can't wrap my head around what Brett Favre meant to the Green Bay Packers.
Also, Aaron's kind of gone out his way to make sure people don't fill that stadium.
Fair enough.
There's that too. many wins could the Packers have if Malik Willis starts the rest of the year? 2 minutes.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
We do have problems around the area, but one accident got cleared up. This is the one on 41 southbound at Main Street, Menominee Falls. Delays are still extensive, stretching all the way back to Holy Hill Road. So just give yourself tons of extra time or maybe even avoid that roadway at this point. Highway 145 or Fond du Lac Avenue at I-43. We've got a broken down vehicle stuck in the right lane there. Northbound 43 at Kilbourne, another incident there with emergency vehicles off on the left shoulder. And then on Highway 175 southbound at Wisconsin Avenue, 2 left lanes are blocked with a crash. Another crash on westbound 94 trying to get onto 175 northbound off on the right shoulder there. Traffic is brought to you by Fisco Auto Body. Call Fisco Auto Body to help with all body repair needs. Fisco, Fisco, Fisco. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, scattered showers, highest chances near the lake, a high of 67. Tonight, decreasing clouds, a low of 55. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
They say seeing is believing, and when you see what's inside at American Place Casino, you better believe you're gonna love it. Because when it comes to amazing gaming, we're a real game changer. With the most exciting of table games like blackjack, craps, and roulette, the newest slots, a sportsbook, restaurants, bars, and more. So if you're ready for excitement, we'll see you soon. American Place Casino. Change the game.
Must be 21 years of age or older. If you or someone you know has a gambling problem, crisis counseling and referral services can be accessed by calling 1-800-GAMBLER, 1-800-426-2537.
Jen Latta here from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy. I have told you about the delicious pizza you can find at Proof Pizza inside St. Kate. Now there's even more to be excited about with new sandwiches on the menu. Available every day from 11 to 4, you can enjoy options like the turkey pesto, the meatball hero, the Italian hoagie, and more. Skip the same old lunch at your desk and grab a delicious sandwich from Proof instead. Order inside the restaurant or directly from the bar at St. Kate. Explore the new sandwiches and the rest of the menu at proofpizzamke.com.
Hey, this is Homer. You're listening to the home of Marquette basketball. 94.5 ESPN is WKTI and WKTI HD Milwaukee.
A locally owned Good Karma brand station. Showtime. The right way to start your day. This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Chewy, let me say this. If you do get detained in Turkey, I really enjoyed our time together. I enjoyed working with you and getting to know you. It's been a great pleasure and honor of mine. If it doesn't work out there and you don't make it back, our thoughts are with you. I just want you to know.
Name one paranormal thing that happened to you. I knew I was going to be bald. Your father's bald. Baldness is inherited from the mother's side, Jerry. But your mother's bald, too.
Hey, George, you know my friend goes to a psychic.
Really?
Uh-huh. We should go sometime.
I'd love to go. Make an appointment.
Adam, I will haunt you. I will haunt you the rest of your life.
The list of people that you will haunt.
He's number one.
Martin's spirit came to you as a warning. Why would he come to George? Because George has heightened extrasensory perception. Faithy, get your finger out of your nose.
I always felt different.
You are.
I'm just telling you right now. Chewy's getting on that plane. He's going to be thinking of me.
Oh, of course I am.
Remember the other day you were saying something about my trip?
Don't take that trip.
Yeah, why? All right, Rule, it's time to go. Yeah, because the terrorists on the plane. Hotel fire. Is that it?
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy, broadcasting live from the Gruber Law Office's One Call That's All studios at the Avenue with Gabe Neitzel and Mark Chamorro. Here's Jen Latta.
JR in the car wants to know, am I in the minority that still loves Rodgers? Still my favorite player and only want the best for him and want to see him succeed? Yes, JR, I think that is the minority opinion.
How much of the minority? 20%, 30%?
So that's a good question. I'm not sure.
With the Jets.
Yeah, like I'm in the position where I just don't care anymore. Like, if he had success, whatever, I don't care. He's off. He's out of sight, out of mind, unless I happen to be watching the Jets play in primetime, which unfortunately seems like it's quite a bit. But I don't think of him. I really don't. I'm more worried about what the Packers have going on.
I mean, I like watching him. He's a great talent. He's unbelievable.
He does make some really sick throws.
Pardon?
He makes sick throws. It's really good.
The reason I watch him is because I compare him to Brady now. when Brady was at that point.
Can he win one late in his career
Sure.
type thing?
He is very late stage Brady, with kind of he's moving a little bit now. He's getting a little more comfortable.
Yeah,
but I mean, he made a few good throws in the most recent game, but it is a boring style of football.
Yeah, and he's nowhere near as mobile as he used to be.
Still got great throws in that arm though.
Oh yeah. Dave says, I don't hate Rodgers at all. In fact, I would love for the Packers to beat the Jets in the Super Bowl.
What about the Jets beat the Packers?
That's Joshy's worst nightmare.
That is?
Joshy might quit if that happens.
Hold on, let me ask you a question.
He's not. I'll tell you this.
Now try to look at
Josh for sure is not showing up the Monday after the Super Bowl if the Packers are playing the Jets and the Jets win. Josh ain't showing up on Monday.
What would be worse? If Brett won a Super Bowl in Minnesota.
Yep.
Or Rodgers beats the Packers in the Super Bowl.
I think anytime your team loses, it feels really bad.
I am going to say Brett winning one in Minnesota.
I think that might be worse.
Yeah, I think that's worse.
Just because he orchestrated his way there and it's the Vikings?
Yeah, and it's the Vikings. And so the other thing is, because if the Packers are playing in the Super Bowl, I think they would still be proven right to move on from him. Yeah, Aaron Rodgers eventually won't, but you are good enough to also get to a Super Bowl. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
If you're good enough to get to a Super Bowl, you're good enough to win a Super Bowl.
Yes. Yeah, that's a good question. What would sting more?
Yeah, I think it's Brett.
You.
I think it's Brett winning in Minnesota.
Okay.
Because I mean, it's very possible if the Packers make it to the Super Bowl this year. Like, they're young enough, like, you feel good about them going the next year and the year after. Like, there's just a huge wide open window.
Yeah.
I spend a lot of time rooting against teams. That's one of my favorite things to do after rooting for the Packers. I don't think I've ever rooted harder against anyone or any team than the Vikings in that NFC Championship game.
Oh, when he threw that pick,
it was
I celebrated
elation.
like the Packers won the NFC Championship game. Okay, Josh, quickly, because it is a Power Rankings Tuesday, can you give me your top 3 teams? If you want to go to top 4, power rank your top 4 teams you like to root against.
Let me get my music here.
Yeah, okay, yeah.
For sake. Number 4 right now is probably the Detroit Lions. Something about them, just like to root against them. Dan Campbell.
Yeah, I was about to say, you don't like Dan Campbell.
Is that new?
Yes, that is new.
Okay.
They were not on the radar 2 years ago. Number 3 is the Cleveland Browns because they're very fun to watch continue to just toil.
I didn't see that coming.
Neither did I.
Yeah.
It's fantastic. That's why I wanted him to do this.
Number 2 is the New York Jets. Anything Aaron Rodgers I like to root against. And 1, the Chicago Bears.
Yeah.
Mine is Dallas 1, Dallas 2.
Okay.
Dallas 3, and Dallas 4.
Okay.
Yes.
Is there a gap and then the Bears?
No, that's just straight across the board.
Straight across the board. Okay, I got you.
I love every other team compared to the Dallas Cowboys. Not a fan.
I feel like a younger me, and Gabe, I don't know if you feel the same way. I rooted hard against the Cowboys for a long time.
Oh, I did.
And then after a while, it was just kind of like, eh. Obviously, Chewy is more invested in that.
Well, I mean, he was in the battles, you know.
But I'm hated by 8 million people in the San Francisco Bay Area, and I still don't mind San Francisco.
That's a good point. Very good point.
Yeah.
Homer asked a very interesting question yesterday that they put up on the Homer Hour poll. And I wanted to know what your thoughts on this, Chew, would be. If Malik Willis started the rest of the regular season, how many remaining of the 14 games would Green Bay win? 0-3, 4-6, 7-9, 10 or more.
Okay, we both can agree. Well, the Colts might have bumped up. So Tennessee is in line to be the worst team in the league right now, and the Colts are probably mid-20s.
Sure.
So based upon that, if Malik, I would say they lose to the Vikings. Wow. I mean, the Rams beating San Francisco without Kupp and Puka is amazing to me.
I mean, the Niners are beat up in their own right. You know, they're without
you said
McCaffrey.
How many games would they win?
How many games would they win? So 14 games left on the schedule. How many would they win if Malik started the rest of them. So I believe, Josh, this does not count the 2 wins he already has. This is just the rest of the way, the final 14. How many of those 14 would he win?
I'll do their wins. Cardinals, they would beat. Jaguars, they would beat.
Okay.
Wow. And the Bears, they would beat once. 3 more.
So you think it would just be 3? So you would be in the 0 to 3 category.
So I would say losing to the Vikings twice, Saints, Seahawks, Lions twice, Dolphins, because it's later in the year.
Yeah,
and I would guess 2 is going to be back. 49ers.
Who knows for sure?
Split with the Bears, beat the Jaguars, lose Texans, beat the Cardinals, lose to the Rams.
So you would just be at 3.
Yes.
The results of the poll, 0 to 3 had 0.6% of the vote. 4 to 6, 39%, 7 to 9, 50%, and 10 or more, 9.5%.
Wow, they're insane. 9.5 or more as opposed to 0 to 3.
Yeah, 0 to 3, 0.6%.
I do think an 8-win team is possible. You have to have some games you are definitely not going to be favored in go your way. But
I think you would need some
to be like a runaway playoff
but the
team.
thing with him starting,
they weren't a runaway playoff team last year.
The thing starting from here out is you can only do so much. You can't have a great
You
game
can't invent
plan.
a whole new
You're
offense.
eventually going to have to do stuff you already did. Like this last week.
Yeah.
The fact that they put in the read option was great. That was smart. That was very smart. You know, and it's like Tennessee had no idea. We never thought of doing that with him. You know,
again, goes back to your theory on good coaching staffs and bad coaching staffs.
That was a great add-on.
But again, it was just something that I found interesting when I saw that come across the polls yesterday during the Homer Hour. It is a Power Rankings Tuesday. Are the Packers in the top 10? We find out coming up next on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy are back after this on 94.5 ESPN.
Well, we have an accident now on eastbound 94, right about it, just east of Highway 83, stretching all the way back to past Highway 83 with these delays. We've also got an accident northbound 4394, just north of Howard Avenue, off on the right shoulder. An earlier accident on westbound 94 to northbound 175 in the Stadium interchange, and 175 southbound at Wisconsin Avenue. Looks like we got the 2 left lanes blocked with a crash there. Going to see slow speeds pretty much everywhere else, though, so you do want to be extra careful. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast today, scattered showers, highest chances near the lake, a high of 67. Tonight, decreasing clouds, a low of 55. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
ESPN Wisconsin's Mark Tauscher, and summer is here. But if you want your parking lots and asphalt to be ready for winter, you have to remember the 3 R's from Johnson & Sons Paving. Reseal every 2 to 3 years. Repair when you see signs of cracking or potholes. And replace if there's constant standing water, buckling, or sinking. Don't scare customers or tenants away because of a bad parking lot. Connect with Johnson & Sons today before minor repairs end up being huge headaches. Schedule an appointment at johnsonsonspaving.com.
Lock in for October. Brewers postseason tickets are on sale now. Clear your schedule, claim your spot, and be here for a Brewers postseason run you don't want to miss at brewers.com/postseason.
Hey Milwaukee sports fans, it's Brad Nortman from Kyle Bruston Nortman. You've invested too much into that nice ride, so don't settle for a gas station car wash. Treat it to a Tsunami Express car wash. State-of-the-art wash technology, powerful free vacuums, and unlimited wash memberships. Now with 5 locations across Greater Milwaukee, Tsunami Express is your go-to spot for a flawless finish and a first-class car wash every time. Trust me, your car will thank you. Sign up for a membership online at tsunamiexpress.com and get your first wash free. Tsunami Express Car Wash. Wash, chill, repeat.
Do you remember that electric moment when you suddenly realized that she was the one?
The one you were going to love forever.
The one you'd been waiting your whole life to meet.
She is the one.
The one.
Now it's time to find the one engagement ring that sparkles like she does.
Come to Kessler's Diamonds. We have a collection of incredibly special diamond engagement rings called the One Collection.
You need one special engagement ring for the one woman you will ever love.
Kessler's Diamonds is the one jewelry store where you can find the One Collection.
And Kessler's is the one store that offers the world-famous, no excuses, no fine print, lifetime warranty on every diamond engagement ring we sell.
We have the freedom to do this for you because Kessler's Diamonds is the one diamond store owned by its employees.
The One Collection starts at just $550.
Welcome to Kessler's.
Find the Kesslers nearest you at KesslersDiamonds.com.
After a serious accident, you'll need a winning team to protect your rights. Trust Wisconsin's own Ruger Law Offices. Proud partner of your Milwaukee Brewers. One call, that's all.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
He sounds like the Beatles.
What?
Anyone?
This is a new one on me.
Listen to his
don't
interview,
know.
the way he talks. He sounds like Paul McCartney. Ringo farted and it was horrible. It was absolutely horrible.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Steve texts in 800-990-3776. Favre's the man. Chewy gets 10%. Rodgers is a turd. And Joshy's grown on me. Wow. Very short text, and he got a lot in. Speaking of getting in, are the Packers in the top 10? Time for Power Rankings.
It's Chewy's favorite segment of the week.
Hey, big guy, you catch the game?
It's Power Rankings time on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
You catch the game last night?
Can I say yes to you?
What will the big guy have in store for us today?
See the game last night?
Which game?
Any of them.
Okay, your hint for the week is it's kind of there, but this isn't how it's gonna be 5-6 weeks from now, I believe. Okay?
Okay.
Kind of fair.
All right.
But I wouldn't think in 6 weeks a lot of these teams won't be in it. Okay? With that, Josh, are you ready?
I'm born ready.
Give me number 10.
The Jacksonville Jaguars.
They're 0-3.
What about the Atlanta Falcons?
Don't sleep. Okay. Is that why he grows on people? Because he's a Richard?
I think so. And as long as he's not being a Richard to them, they think it's funny.
All right. That was kind of funny. I'm like, Jacksonville Jaguars. I'm like, oh, I used to love them.
I told Gabe I got a little bit here.
I'm still mad at you for that.
What, Jacksonville?
Yeah.
That's all because of Doug.
Well, yeah, but you're singing his praises, so then I parrot it when I go on national, because I'm like, oh, my guy Chewy knows football. He's going to, now I look like an idiot for back in Jacksonville. I'm going to say the Packers sneak in. I think the Packers are number 10.
Josh?
I'm going to agree with Gabe, but I kind of think they might just be outside.
Nolan Saints, number 10.
Okay.
I thought they should have been a little higher.
Yeah.
Because they played Philly top. That was in Philly, too, right? Or was that in New
no, it was in New Orleans.
Still.
I mean, they were the best team in football for 2 weeks, and then they went and played what we think to be pretty good competition.
Yeah.
I mean, Philly's a little bit of a dumpster fire, but they're 2-1. I don't know what to think of Philly.
Really, the media's just trying to make it into a dumpster fire.
Well, I mean, Nick Sirianni's bad.
Yeah, he's making it a dumpster
fire.
Yeah,
Nick Sirianni's bad.
You think so?
The roster might be overcoming Nick Sirianni.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, but Sirianni does not. He doesn't call the offense. He doesn't call the defense.
But he makes bad decisions on like when to go for it, when to not go for it, and things like that.
9 times. Give me 9.
Okay, so I just want to say, outside of the top 2, this is really hard this week.
I haven't an idea, because you've got the teams like the Niners and the Ravens where it's like, where do they go?
Right?
Because they were so highly ranked.
And I still think they're good.
Yeah.
Like, I think the Ravens are really good.
Yes.
But I don't know if the Ravens are in. I'm going to say Pittsburgh at 3-0 is here.
I'm going to take a shot in the dark here and think Texans.
The San Francisco 49ers
Here's the team I mentioned.
Number 9. Do you believe the Pack is out?
Yeah, I don't think they're above the 40. I don't think they're a top 8 team right now
Josh?
without their starting quarterback. I think they're out.
No way.
All right, so the Packers are 11. I think they have a case to be. I think the Saints should be bumped 1 and Packers should be 10 because you still got to give them, even though they played 2 bad teams, they won with their backup.
Yeah.
So you got to give them some street cred.
But at least the Saints lost a tight game against the Eagles just like the Packers and blew the doors off of Dallas.
Yeah, but I'm saying moved Saints to 9 and put Packers at 10.
And you'd bump the Niners out?
And then get the Niners out. You're 1 and 2. And then where I would give street cred to the Packers for winning it with their backup, San Francisco, you just lost to a team that has its top 2 receivers out.
Sure, but you guys beat a lot of teams with your top 2 receivers out in 96.
Yeah, but they're not us.
Very good point.
You know what?
Yeah.
We move on.
All right, 8.
I'm going to say Texans again.
All right, so Pittsburgh's got to be here somewhere. Houston, they got their doors blown off. I will say Pittsburgh.
Josh is right. Houston is number 8.
Right. And I had Houston as my original number 8.
How bad do we ding them, though, for getting worked?
It depends. How good do we think Minnesota is?
I have no idea.
That's the problem.
I have no idea. My one thought about Minnesota is this isn't sustainable.
Their defense might be.
Sam Darnold?
I would bet against Sam Darnold.
I'd be 0-3.
Yeah.
But I think in the long run.
Yes.
All right, 7.
I think this is where the Steelers.
Steelers are, in fact, 7. Is this the biggest? This is a bigger surprise than Minnesota.
No.
Yes.
They were a playoff
Justin
team.
Fields?
But they were a playoff team last year.
Justin Fields.
But they were.
I get the coaching closes, cures a lot of problems, but still 3-0.
This, to me, what we've seen so far is exactly how I thought Justin Fields would go.
Really?
They're going to limit mistakes. They're going to hold teams to under 10 points, and they're just going to inch across, and they're going to love every second of it.
I mean, it's ugly-ass football.
All right, let me ask you this. How big is the gap between Andy Reid and Mike Tomlin?
I'd say it's pretty big.
No way.
I mean, that's just
Tomlin
how highly
is
I
a
think
great
of
coach. He is
Andy
a great coach.
Yeah, I think he's very good. I also think Andy Reid is in a class of his own.
But
all right, let me ask you this. Hold on. Give me a timeout. Timeout.
Yep.
If the Pittsburgh Steelers had Patrick Mahomes, would they be the top dog to win the Super Bowl?
I don't think so.
I think they would be a very good team. I think I give more credit to offensive-minded head coaches.
Okay.
Because then when you're not relying on somebody else to then have that most important piece of your roster be coached up and you're doing so I give more of a credit to offensive-minded head coaches, which is why I would agree with Josh and say there's a gap there.
Fair enough.
But Tomlin's really good. I don't want to diminish what Mike Tomlin's doing.
I know.
I think he's one of the best.
Yeah, I do too.
I just think Andy Reid's that good, like Patrick Mahomes in the QB tiers.
6.
Seattle?
Is this where the Lions are? Or am I too conservative?
I have no idea. Again, I don't know what to do, Josh, because
a lot of 2-1 here.
That's because Seattle's 3-0.
I'm just looking at the standings.
Seattle's 3-0. And I think Seattle's in here, but I don't think Seattle's a top 5 team. So I'm putting Seattle at 6.
I went Lions.
Philadelphia Freedom.
Okay.
That's Bag of Donuts' favorite song. Philly is 6. That's fair.
Sure.
That's fair.
I guess.
No?
Do you think Philly's better than Seattle? I do.
Well, Seattle's 3-0.
But...
Well, that's what I said.
But it's not...
I said this list is not going to be... A lot of these teams will be booted 6 weeks from now.
Okay.
And I think Seattle is one of those teams.
But it's a power rankings. It's who are the best teams in the league, not just who's 3-0.
Who'd Pittsburgh beat?
They have
Pittsburgh beat
Bo
Atlanta.
Nix, Kirk Cousins on a bad leg. The Broncos, they beat Atlanta. And then who'd they beat last week?
I can't remember.
That's a lot of work. 5.
Okay, based on what he just said, I think Detroit's here.
I think so, too.
You would both be correct. Detroit is 5. I don't think Detroit's playing great football.
They played the
right
Chargers
now
last
either.
week, and Herbert left with an injury.
Yeah.
That's who the Steelers played.
Okay.
They've been underwhelming, I think, a little bit, and San Francisco obviously has been underwhelming for two teams that were in the top 5 power rankings preseason.
Sure, but Detroit's still 2-1.
No, I know, but they haven't looked great doing it.
I feel like San Francisco's really getting dinged for having their 3 best players missing various times through 3 games.
Yeah, but when you've got a running back who then just rushes for 150 when he's out, like, it makes you wonder.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like, it's not like he had a bad game either this last week. I think he rushed for another 100-yard game.
Did he?
Or he got close.
Somewhere near.
4.
Is this the Seahawks?
This has got to be Seattle.
Seattle is 4. I agree with you.
Okay.
Seattle, I don't think it's sustainable.
No.
Booted, but...
So that means Minnesota's number 3?
Has to be.
Does that feel right to you?
Final answer?
Well, yeah, because I know who the top 2 are.
I know, but they beat 2 very good teams who are both going to be in the top 10 power rankings at the end of the year. Will you agree with that?
Well, they're in
Houston and San Fran.
Yeah.
You got to give them props.
Yeah, absolutely.
There's a chance San Francisco falls out of the top.
Now, do I think... What? No. They're missing their best player. They're missing their best player.
And their best player might not come back. He's going to see a German Achilles specialist. That's how bad the things are there.
Hey, it worked. I mean, it wasn't Achilles, but when Kobe went over to Germany, it seemed to work for him and the injuries he had.
Didn't Peyton Manning go to Germany as well and come back worse?
Yeah, because there's injectables over there that are legal. That
Hey,
are
he got
illegal
worse,
here.
but he won a Super Bowl, Josh.
Yes. Can't
What
believe
I mean, it seems like a fair trade-off, right?
I guess.
He got worse, but he won the second ring.
What is the line?
For the Packers game?
Yeah.
Yesterday it was 2.
Green Bay?
Yeah,
or
Green Bay.
Probably still there because there's been no practice information.
Okay.
2.5. Green Bay by 2.5.
All right. Give me 2.
Buffalo.
And 1.
Chiefs.
Is Buffalo better than the
City.
Chiefs right now, as we speak?
They're playing better than them, yes.
Okay.
But also the Chiefs get bored in the regular season.
Yep.
No, that's true. So what'd you think?
I would not have Minnesota and Seattle at 3-4.
Who would you have?
I think Detroit's better than Minnesota, so
Yeah,
I would
Detroit
move Detroit.
has not looked great. They haven't looked great.
Sure.
I thought they'd be playing better than this. And it's early. Who cares? Everyone's going to go, well, look.
Yeah, I think you just need to collect wins. And look, the win at the Cardinals didn't look great, but the week before, I mean, this Cardinals team can put up points, man. Like this Cardinals team is going to put up points against teams. So going on the road and winning that one 2013, I don't think there's any shame in that. And they're hosting Seattle next Monday night. And I think that's going to be a rude awakening for Seattle.
Okay. So are we underselling Seattle, Pittsburgh? You're obviously underselling Minnesota.
I'm giving respect to Minnesota because they have the most impressive. It's not that they just beat Houston.
They pounded them.
They blew the doors off of Houston.
But that happens in today's NFL. Hell, it happened in our day.
But sure. So if they were like 2-1 and that was it, but beating San Francisco the week before, and those both games were at home in Minnesota. I get it, but
yeah.
I mean, I don't know if anybody's got a better resume than the Vikings. Like if we're putting together a college football playoff style, who has the best resume? I mean, it's Minnesota's got the best resume, and I don't think it's particularly close.
Well, hopefully they don't get left off with an undefeated record.
All right, so the Colts are 24.
Sounds
Who they
about right.
just play?
Bears.
Tennessee's 32.
You really put Tennessee 32.
They're 32.
I guess they're winless, so they have to, but
Yeah.
I mean,
Okay.
the Panthers are still.
I thought it was.
I mean,
fair.
the Panthers
I thought
scored
it was
36 points.
Let's see how Andy Dalton's looking in 3 weeks.
Yeah, look, I understand, man, but you can't put them 32 after they just
say
won.
this, though, Josh. I was talking about sustainability. Their losing is sustainable.
Who's that?
Carolina.
Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. They've built a
Yes.
losing culture.
Yeah. Look, I mean, they can be 31, but I don't think you can put them 32 if they've put up 36
Correct.
points
Are they
and won a
only-
game.
No, there's.
No, so the
Jags.
Titans, the Jaguars, and The Bengals.
Yeah.
All winless. Those are the 3 winless teams.
Oof.
And they still have the Bengals at 25. Bears are 26.
That feels high for the Bears.
It does?
Yeah.
I just love how every year it's a broken record. Playoffs, Bears.
Can't wait for them to get hot and win like 3 games in a row.
I don't even see them in my rear view anymore. I went over a hill. And it's not a very big hill.
Yeah, we're going to need to stop at a gas station for them to catch
up.
Yeah.
They were supposed to be following us. How could they possibly get lost? I don't understand. Meanwhile, Chew, anytime you get lost at home and you're not quite sure what to do, I mean, there's one easy way to always make it right at home.
Dino, the dancing machino, you know what I say. Happy wife, happy life. And that means going to see Dean the dancing machine at the Jewelry Center. Earrings, custom jewelry, and repair services. The Jewelry Center does it all, including top-of-the-line engagement rings. And when that day comes for my 4 boys to take their next step in their lives, you can bet they'll be heading to the Jewelry Center for their engagement rings. The Jewelry Center offers great deals and selections on both lab-grown and naturally mined diamonds for rings. Plus, you always hear about how Gabe went to the Jewelry Center and had a great experience with the Jewelry Center's specialists to pick out that perfect ring. Stop into one of their 3 locations, Brookfield, Greenfield, or Burlington today, or check out their full inventory online at shoptjc.com.
Never miss out on a second of the show. Find Jen, Gabe, and Chewy on Spotify, Apple, or wherever you get your podcasts with Wisconsin On Demand. Sponsored by Celsius Essential Energy Drink.
Northbound 4394, we're dealing with an accident just about a mile north of Howard Avenue. Delays stretching all the way back through the Plainfield curve, so careful with that. We've also got some delays southbound 43, basically from before Bender Road all the way down to Capitol Drive. An accident eastbound 94, east of Highway 83, is backing things up all the way back to Genesee Street. We've also got delays from 84th Street through to about 35th. Westbound 94, the ramp to get onto northbound 175, got a crash there off on the right shoulder as well. And checking the TMJ4 Storm Team forecast. Today, scattered showers, highest chances near the lake, a high of 67. Tonight, decreasing clouds, a low of 55. From the WTMJ Traffic Center, I'm Debbie Lahazaga on 94.5 ESPN.
Hi, it's John Reitz from Great Midwest Bank. And as I tried writing this radio commercial on my phone, that darn autocorrect always seemed to give me fits. Which got me thinking, if you're looking for a stress-free, painless, wow, that was easy home mortgage process, give Great Midwest Bank a try. Find an experienced loan officer at greatmidwestbank.com to guide you to a state of banquility. Yeah, autocorrect would have never caught that one. Great Midwest Bank, your simply local equal housing lender.
Your chances are running out to enjoy the outdoors before winter comes. This is the time to be active. Use your body's own healing properties to revitalize your achy joints and get you real, lasting pain relief. Hey, it's ESPN Wisconsin's Brad Nortman. I'm talking about advanced regenerative medicine. Tired of arthritic pain in your knees, hips, shoulders, or back? Everybody's talking about regenerative medicine. You can enhance your joints, improve mobility, and get back to doing the stuff you love without pain and without drugs or surgery or downtime. The local medical professionals at QC Kinetics are experts in these amazing treatments. They are led by National Medical Director Dr. Mitchell Scheinkup, renowned in cellular research. QC Kinetics is the nation's leader in this exciting breakthrough using cellular therapies. They've got tens of thousands of satisfied patients, and the consultation is totally free. Call now to get lasting joint pain relief with the help from QC Kinetics. This is the future of medicine. Call QC Kinetics now for a free consultation. 414-285-3474. 414-285-3474. That's 414-285-3474.
Picture this. You arrive at your hotel. You have an important online meeting lined up with clients from all across the country. You have your laptop open, ready to begin, and the Wi-Fi is so terrible, you can't even connect. These types of stressful situations happen all the time, but they don't have to. When you book a room at La Quinta by Wyndham, you have access to their free high-speed Wi-Fi, so you can take care of those critical emails, join your meetings on time, and even unwind by streaming your favorite shows without having to worry. Tonight, La Quinta. Tomorrow, you shine. Book direct at lq.com.
Are you ready to build your company's dream team? Just like in sports, finding skilled players is essential for success. With Robert Half's winning combination of specialized recruiting professionals and award-winning AI, we'll help you find the MVPs and key role players who will have you hanging banners in the rafters. Because in business, it's all about having the experienced team on your side. At Robert Half, we know talent. Visit roberthalf.com today.
You're listening to Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
And guess who didn't hit the hole? Zeke Elliott.
Ashton.
Well, I mean, yes. You all right back there?
That's so true.
It was a direct shot. She took out the sniper rifle and just...
She got right up to me, took out a Glock, and just shot.
Yeah, right in the balls.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Xavier McKinney has been huge for the Packers' success. And I don't want... I a lot of love to Malik Willis, certainly. A lot of love to Matt LaFleur, certainly. But we talked about it a little bit, Chew, with Jason when he was on. And right now McKinney leads the league. 3 interceptions, 3 weeks. Do I think he's finishing the season with 17 interceptions? No, I do not. If he did, that would be sweet. But if the Packers defense plays like they have the last couple of weeks, and he continues to be at the center of that, I think he certainly could be in the conversation for Defensive Player of the Year.
Mm.
Again, he's going to have to continue to create turnovers and, be amongst the league leaders in interceptions. Usually that award goes to, guys who get after the quarterback, and Aiden Hutchinson has 6.5 sacks through 3 games. And when Charles Woodson won, I believe he had 9 interceptions, I want to say. Led the league with 9 interceptions when he won the NFL Defensive Player of the Year award back in 2009. So that's the type of thing it takes for a corner or a defensive back to win this award. But I don't think you could have asked for anything more from Xavier McKinney through the first 3 weeks.
No. He's got great presence. And the nice thing is they're doing what they want with him. That was my concern, that there would be leakage with the other safety or whatever. They're using him the way they want to use him. He's like a Leroy. Just has a great feel and presence of what's going on. He's very ball hockey.
So we had the discussion on last Friday, and we had fun with it of what would you rather have, that elite cornerback, that elite pass rusher. We talked about Reggie. We talked about Deion Sanders back in the day. But how much of a difference does an elite safety like that make? You had Leroy. The Packers used to have Nick Collins, which it would seem like a huge difference maker, when they went to the Super Bowl in 2010. But how much of a difference does it make to have that elite type safety that you can have do a number of different things in the back?
Oh, it's huge. It's huge. Play a man-to-man against whatever, put him on a tight end. If you remember back to Leroy, Super Bowl 31, they had a good tight end in Ben Coates.
Yeah.
Leroy shut him down. He shut down Shannon Sharp in Super Bowl 32. Shannon didn't have any catches, maybe 1 or 2. Leroy could blitz. We haven't seen that yet from McKinney, but you know what he is? He's like a point guard that sees the whole floor. Can pass it to anybody, anywhere, because he has unbelievable vision. This guy just slides with the ball, reads the quarterback's eyes real well, and it's different because when you have a guy like that on the back end of your defense, as someone closer to the line affords you to take more chances as a player because someone has your back on the back end. So he's been playing great. It's a great addition. You're seeing the difference in the takeaways this year to last year, and that plays a role. Because I'll tell you what, Tennessee was not out of the game. The thing that put them out of the game was the 3 turnovers to none. Because it was still 14 hanging around a little bit.
Yeah.
But defensively, and they're a bad team, but I don't care. As we see, anybody can beat anybody in this league.
Early fourth quarter, it was still 27-14, and I think the Titans moved the ball a little bit, and then they turned it over again, and it kind of felt, okay, now, or the Packers defense forced a punt. But early fourth quarter, it still felt, okay, there's still some time left here.
Yeah,
if they can't, but the defense
it didn't feel out of hand.
Yes, but then the defense was able to make their plays. Sure. Narveson hits the 47-yarder with 3 minutes left or whatever he did, and that kind of put the game away. But that's where in years past, I don't know if you have to be nervous about that, Because even last year, when the Packers were in a game like that, suddenly Bryce bleeping Young put up, unbelievable numbers, and all of a sudden you're in a tight game. The defense was able to close that one out, and I think that's important. They weren't able to do that in week 1. Get the ball back earlier for Jordan Love to try to make something happen. But when you can close out the game on defense with the turnovers, with the sacks, the way they got them, that's where I think this defense can really be dangerous, is playing from out front.
Well, and the nice thing is, and they're going to have their hiccups. Look, everyone in this league has their hiccups where they lose 2 in a row or whatever. But when you have a defense that can cover up your warts offensively, or when you feel offensively you can take more chances because you have confidence in your defense, hey, if we turn it over here, no big deal. We got a defense that's at least going to hold them to 3 or shut them down. Changes your play calling as a coordinator.
Well,
that was like us in 96. We come out for the NFC Championship game against Carolina and turn the ball. Brett throws a pick to. You don't have to beep it. It was a slip.
I mean,
to Sam Mills.
He was probably a for throwing the interception
to Sam Mills, and our defense held him to 3. They shut him down. And there was no hiccup. There was no oh my God, we got to panic.
Yeah,
that's what's nice.
I think it's really important for this next week. The best part of the Packers defense could be the offense jumping to an early lead.
Yeah.
Because Tony Pollard doesn't really scare anyone, I think, at this point anymore. But you know who's a really good back?
Aaron Jones.
Yeah.
And he's going to have this thing called a chip on his shoulder. Have you watched Minnesota at all? I haven't. That's why I'll be interested to see, are they good? Are they frauds?
I don't think they're fraudulent.
It's the defense is overperforming what we expected, and Sam Darnold has been like a top 5 quarterback in the NFL this far, and that's where they are.
But weren't they without Hawkinson, and they were without Addison?
Still without, no Hawkinson, no Addison.
That's what even makes it more impressive.
I just think Justin Jefferson's the best player in football. That's not named
really?
Patrick Mahomes.
Okay.
Yeah.
But, so Justin Jefferson, 6 catches, 81 yards. Aaron Jones, 19 carries, 102 yards. That's what they did against Houston.
And their coach is a hell of a coach, too.
Oh, yeah. Kevin O'Connell.
Kevin O'Connell's a good coach. It's just how relevant are they going to be 5-6 weeks from now when they get those players back? Does that change? Because Hawkinson's a really good tight end.
Oh, and Addison's a really good receiver.
Yeah.
Their weapons. When we were talking about weapons during the offseason, I think this was kind of consensus everybody's favorite weapons, right? Because of Justin Jefferson.
You know what? It still might be the best division in football, but insert Minnesota instead of the
Chicago.
Bears, right?
Yeah. Because those weapons are – it just goes to show you, because even when they had to go to Nick Mullins last year, they were able to move the football. The big problem with Nick Mullins is he can't avoid turnovers.
Yeah.
He has to turn the ball over. And honestly, that is such a big part of what the Packers did with Malik Willis, is he avoided turnovers these last 2 weeks. That you didn't ask, your defense to play on a short field, or then you get nervous because he turned the ball over. And LaFleur said as much. Hey, when he avoids turnovers, it makes me more confident in opening up the playbook a little bit more. Well, so the fact that Sam Darnold's been avoiding turnovers, that's been the big thing for Kevin O'Connell, because they're going to be able to move the football with their weapons.
Once Jordan is back and in the flow of things, and we know we have our backup quarterback now, can they cut Clifford loose?
They'll keep him on the practice squad.
Yeah.
You just might as well keep him there. If they can find a better practice squad quarterback, sure, but...
Yeah.
To put into context what Vegas thinks of the Vikings, they are still plus 3,000 in terms of updated Super Bowl odds that I'm looking at here. They are behind teams like the Bengals, which I don't know if it's updated for last night, but the Cowboys, the Packers, the Texans, the Jets, the Ravens, the Lions, the Eagles, the Bills, the 49ers, the Chiefs.
So no one else is buying them yet. And I agree. It's only 3 weeks in. But they've beaten 2 good teams.
Yeah, that's the thing. So. Is that defense. The defense had made C.J. Stroud, who was off to a really good start, look pretty pedestrian last week. And that's the thing. And they played pretty good defense against the San Francisco 49ers, who have a very similar offense to the Green Bay Packers.
Yeah.
And that's the thing that's concerning.
So Minnesota, exit Bears from the rear view, enter Minnesota in the side view.
But again, I'm supposed to believe in Sam Darnold. Like, he's on a hot streak, and that hot streak has to end eventually. I just don't know if it ends Sunday. I don't know if it ends 2 weeks from now. I don't know if he ends up being like I mentioned earlier in the show, Case Keenum.
Could it be he's in the right system? Could it be Malik Willis? Because I tell you what, Malik going down there and beating his old team makes that whole organization look foolish.
If Sam Darnold was this good, don't you think Kyle Shanahan would have kept him in a very similar system last year?
One would think, yeah.
He was bad last year at the start of the year.
Yeah.
When they had him playing.
Yeah.
So that's the thing that's... And again, maybe it's just something that Kevin O'Connell was able to connect with Sam Darnold. I can't quite figure it out.
It's a goofy league.
He might not even been starting week 8 if their plans had gone originally as they thought.
Yeah.
They were very high on McCarthy.
Which is why I was willing to just write off Sam Darnold.
Yeah.
All right, well, let me ask you this. What would Pittsburgh be if Russ started these 3 games?
So if Russ started instead of Justin Fields?
Yeah.
I think they got a loss in there somewhere.
1 and 2.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
I mean, they're probably so happy. What's he got, a calf?
He doesn't have a job is what he's got.
Yeah.
Did they announce that finally?
I don't think so.
Oh, okay.
I don't think they have. But
it'd be nice.
I mean, you're 3-0. Guess what you're not going to do?
Yeah.
Switch out your quarterback when you were having a quarterback competition during the preseason. You're not switching out your quarterback at that point. But it's something that you can do because they always say, if you have 2 quarterbacks, you really don't have one. Well, if you've got 2 Palermo's pizzas in your freezer, that just gives you options. That's just good on you. Because Palermo's has so many different pizzas under their umbrella and all the brands that they have, they're going to have a slice that you like. And maybe there's going to be a couple different ones that you love. Like right now, I've got a Screamin' Sicilian tavern style because I like the little thinner crust. But every once in a while, I want a Palermo's rising crust because if I want a little thicker crust, I want to have those options in my freezer. And Palermo's gives it to me because they've been doing it for over 60 years right here in Wisconsin. Sports and pizza, they go together. And especially during football season, you're going to want to make sure that your freezer is loaded up with Palermo's pizza because Palermo's flavor is our family's business.
Jen, Gabe, and Chewy continues next on 94.5 ESPN.
If you need to do some work on your home, you should call my friends over at PCI for your next remodeling project or home addition. Or maybe you're thinking about building a brand new home. Either way, the PCI team is here for you, just like they have been here for me and my family when we find ourselves in a house jam. Mike and Michelle operate a family-owned company. They believe in building relationships, and you know what? They're pretty good at it. They've been doing it for 20 years. You can learn more about PCI at professionalconstructioninc.com, professionalconstructioninc.com, and tell them Jen from Jen, Gabe, and Chewy sent you.
This is Matt Meitner, owner of Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Do you find yourself talking to your dog but feel like she's not listening to you?
Bella, sit!
Are you constantly repeating yourself but she's not following your directions?
Sit! Sit!
Frustrating, isn't it? At Sit Means Sit Dog Training, we want to help you have a happy, confident, and obedient dog, and we also want to make the training process an enjoyable and worthwhile experience. Contact Sit Means Sit today to schedule a free consultation so we can create a customized training program so you are able to have the dog you want and deserve.
Sit Means Sit Dog Training. Sorry, we don't train husbands, wives, or kids.
Gear up for game day with GNC. Just like your favorite college team prepares for their matchup each week, you can get ready to crush your fitness goals with GNC. Your coaches are in stores, ready to help you build muscle like a linebacker or slim down after a tough season. They have everything you need, including all the top brands, the new flavors you crave, the hottest protein, pre-workouts, creatine, and more to tackle your fitness goals. Don't wait for the final whistle. Fuel your fitness at GNC. Visit your local GNC or GNC.com today.
Something amazing is happening in business. More companies are turning to Mac. From finance to fulfillment, CDW will seamlessly support Mac integration into your organization. With the power of Apple Silicon, best-in-class security, and compatibility across your favorite apps, your team will have the performance they need and the tools they love. Make amazing happen. Mac and CDW. Learn more at cdw.com/Apple.
Let's get the latest from Lambeau. This is your green and gold fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee. Want that mirror finish on your car? You need Z-Gloss by Z-Bart. Z-Gloss is a 3-layer ceramic coating that not only gives your car that mirror finish, it protects it from everything that Mother Nature can throw at it. Visit zbart.com for more information.
Malik Willis throws for 200-plus yards and a touchdown, runs for another, and the Packers take care of the Tennessee Titans in Nashville 30-14 in Week 3. Willis, after the game, though, wanted to spend time talking about the defense.
I mean, I think it would have been easy for anybody to play with that defense plan like that. You go out there and just try to execute our plays and take care of the football, and everything else work itself out.
Another interception for Xavier McKinney and a pick 6 for Jair Alexander. It's likely that Matt LaFleur and the Packers will let Jordan Love practice all week before deciding if he'll line up under center on Sunday at Lambeau Field.
This has been your Green and Gold Fix on 94.5 ESPN. Brought to you by Z-Bart of Greater Milwaukee.
My house has a new glow. I love my windows. Universal Windows Direct.
It's ESPN Wisconsin's Kyle Wallace. Right now at Universal Windows Direct, get 0% financing for 60 months, restrictions apply. For the last windows you'll ever need, go to uwd.com to schedule your free in-home estimate.
I love my windows. They've got that brand new home effect. Universal Windows Direct.
Stay up to date on the Green and Gold all season. The Green and Gold Fix podcast is brought to you by Potawatomi Casino Hotel. Luxury stay, elite play, unwind in sophisticated comfort. Win big, dine, and experience the events in Milwaukee.
The Jen, Gabe, and Chewy podcast is sponsored by Celsius Energy Drink, and I am here to tell you it makes a huge difference in my mornings. With a unique blend of essential energy and key vitamins, Celsius is your partner to an active lifestyle. My favorite, the Peach Vibe. Learn more at Celsius.com and pick up Celsius Energy Drinks today.
This is Jen, Gabe, and Chewy.
I have told you how many times. Do not mess with electricity, Chew.
And I don't. I did. I did. But I don't.
Incident?
There was
plumbing, you're going to get wet. Electricity, you're going to die.
On 94.5 ESPN.
Everyone's going to be getting more of our boy Joshy this week.
Getting what?
Getting more. He's just not appearing on Jen, Gabe, and Chewy producing our show. He is going to be one of the co-hosts tomorrow at Potawatomi.
What?
You got it, brother. Talking a little gambling.
Never cleared that.
Okay, now you know, Josh. You got to clear these clearances through. You got to run it through your. I guess choose your agent now. Are you going to be jumping on and piling on Jen? Because I'm sure that because her and Ben had both given out as their best bet last week. Ben had taken the Commanders plus the 7.5. Jen laid the 7.5 with Cincinnati. Ben ended up winning. So I'm guessing Ben is going to try to rub it in. Are you going to be picking sides there? Or are you going to be laying back? What are you going to do?
I'm going to be playing neutral, Switzerland there, because I want to get invited back.
Okay.
Don't want to ruffle any feathers the first time around.
It's just tough because, that's the show you used to produce with Scalzo and Brust. It's the show you currently produce with Jen on here. Like it's a tough spot for you, man.
Yeah. I'm just going to try and give out some winners.
I think he's more of a handler for Jen, just to make sure the gambling doesn't get out of control.
Oh, so he's being asked to go there to make sure that she doesn't place too many bets. Yeah.
He's a spy.
Just, hey, let's keep this under control.
Mm-hmm. I didn't know all these jobs I had. I got to check with you. I got to be a spy now. I don't want to be a spy.
Too bad. Shouldn't have said yes.
I just want to win some bucks.
Do you have any that you want to tease?
Haven't looked at the slate yet.
Okay.
I did win a nice 3-legger yesterday with some over Brian Thomas Jr. and under on Keon Coleman, who I lucked out was suspended for the first quarter of the game for being late to a meeting. So, sometimes it's better to be lucky than good.
Especially when it comes to gambling.
Yes.
Chewy knows. All right, so check out Joshy on that. Check out Joshy this weekend, too. He's going to be part of Wisconsin College Game Day.
And Brad Nortman.
All Josh, all the time here.
You're not leaving us, are you?
If the money's right.
That's the answer.
Man after my own
Yeah,
heart.
I was about to say, that's the answer Chewy was looking for as the agent. Wilde and Tausch coming up next.
More Jen, Gabe, and Chewy coming up on 94.5 ESPN.
Wrapping up with an accident on 41 northbound at Appleton Avenue off on the left shoulder. So watch out for delays coming up from Capitol Drive to that point. Southbound is slowing down from about Good Hope Road.